So today we are going to learn about the Indus Valley civilization. मतलब वो civilization, वो सभ्यता जो इंडस नदी पे हुआ था। तो इसकी शुरुआत करते हैं। तो सबसे पहले इंडस वैली जो सिविलाइजेशन था वो भी एक ब्रोंज एज ही सिविलाइजेशन था जो रिवर इंडस के ऊपर बना हुआ था। और 1826 में जब कुछ ब्रिटिशर्स रेलवे का काम कर रहे थे तब उनमें से उनका कैप्टन, वहाँ पे कुछ आर्कियोलॉजिस्ट भी थे, तो वहाँ पे उन आर्कियोलॉजिस्ट को पता चला, जब उन्होंने खुदाई की तो उन लोगों ने देखा कि ये सब क्या है। तो फिर जब उसकी अच्छे तरीके से जब खोजबीन की गई तो उन लोगों को पता चला कि ये तो वो है, ये तो पुराने किसी एंशिएंट सिविलाइजेशन के बचे हुए हिस्से लगते हैं। लेटर इन 1856 में रेलवे इंजीनियर फिर और ब्रिक्स और ईंटें पाए, और जब वो इसका क्या है ये वो नहीं समझ पाए, लेकिन बाद में इसे कराची और लाहौर के बीच में इसे पूरी अच्छी तरीके से ढूंढ के निकाला गया, कराची और लाहौर के बीचों बीच। 1921 में एक इंडिया का आर्कियोलॉजिस्ट दया राम साहनी उसे इम्पोर्टेंट इसका समझ गया था। उसके बाद ये जब खोजबीन अच्छे से किया तो इसे पता चला ये तो एक बहुत बड़ी सिविलाइजेशन है किसी पुराने समय का। तो उसी से इसका नाम हड़प्पा और मोहनजोदाड़ो पड़ गया। ये असली में लोथल और दलोवीरा में है, प्रेजेंट डे गुजरात में, रोपर पंजाब में है, रोपर नाम के जगह पे, और कालीबंगन राजस्थान में है, और हड़प्पा और मोहनजोदाड़ो इसका मेन पार्ट ये पाकिस्तान में है आज। अब इसके कुछ मेन फीचर्स, अब मैं जहाँ तक हिंदी में एक्सप्लेन किया हूँ, अब मैं इंग्लिश में अपना एक्सप्लेनेशन को स्टार्ट करता हूँ। इंडस वैली सिविलाइजेशन, डिस्कवरी एंड लोकेशन। The Indus Valley civilization was a Bronze Age civilization that emerged in the Indian subcontinent along the river Indus and its tributaries. It was discovered by chance when in 1826 a British explorer in India, Charles Mason, found some mysterious brick mounds in Punjab. He thought they look like old castle. Later in 1856, railway engineer, while laying railway tracks, found more such bricks. They did not realize its significance and carted the bricks off to build the railway line between Karachi and Lahore in Pakistan. Many years in 1921, an Indian archaeologist, Dayaram Sahni, understood the importance of site and excavated the ancient ruins of the Harappa on the banks of the river Ravi in the western Punjab. Meanwhile, in 1919 to 1920, Rakhal Das Banerjee excavated the remains of another ancient city, Mohenjo-daro, on the banks of the river Indus. In 1931, large-scale excavations were carried out at Mohenjo-daro at the supervision of the John Marshall. Subsequently, similar ancient city was unearthed from other locations in the Indus River Valley. The ancient cities were a part of the Indus Valley civilization, which flourished between 3000 BCE and 1800 BCE. Indus Valley civilization is also known as the Harappan civilization because Harappa was the first site of the civilization to be discovered. Most sites of the Indus Valley civilization were found on the banks of the river Indus and its tributaries. Subsequent discoveries revealed that the Indus Valley settlements spread as far as parts of the northern western India, extending from Balochistan and Sindh to Gujarat, Rajasthan, Haryana, Punjab, and western Uttar Pradesh. Some important sites of the civilization are Harappa and Mohenjo-daro in Pakistan, Lothal and Dholwaria in Gujarat, Ropar in Punjab, and Kalibangan in Rajasthan. Main features of Indus Valley civilization. The excavation and findings at Harappa, Mohenjo-daro, and other sites prove that the people of the Indus Valley were highly civilized, much ahead of their times. The Indus Valley civilization was characterized by certain features that sets it apart from other civilizations. Town planning. The Indus Valley cities were impeccably planted. The towns was divided into two sections, the citadel and the lower town. The citadel was usually located on the high ground above the rest of the city. The lower town included all the houses of the city. A strong wall of burnt bricks separated the citadel from the lower town. Historians believe that the citadel was occupied by a ruling class and later lowered down by the common people. There were broad brick roads in Harappa which intersected each other at right levels, dividing the city into grids. The broad roads allowed passage for carts driven by animals. The design and division of the city so that a lot of thought had been put into its planning. Architecture. The Indus Valley people were skilled builders with highly advanced towns planning and architecture. The houses, public structure, and ingenious drainage system reflected the architectural skills of the people. Houses. The houses of the Indus Valley built in the lower town were mostly one or two story structure. Each house has a courtyard at the center surrounded by roofs. They were mostly built with sun-dried bricks or unbaked bricks and stones. Some houses even had their own wells. Each house has a small drains to let out the used water from the house, joined a network of bigger cover drains that ran along the house walls. The bigger drains had points from where they could be cleared. Public structures. The citadel was separated from the city by a strong wall made of burnt bricks. Many important public buildings of town, including the Great Granary at Harappa, the Great Bath, and the Assembly Hall at Mohenjo-daro were built inside the citadel. Great Granary of Harappa was a massive structure of 12 granaries divided into two equal rows. It was used for storing surplus food grains. Circular platforms near the granaries were used for the process of threshing. This granary was located near the river to facilitate easy transport of grains. A similar structure has also been found in the Mohenjo-daro, highlighting the similarities between the two towns. The Great Bath of Mohenjo-daro is a unique structure of the Indus Valley civilization. It was a rectangular structure with 6 different entrances leading to the central bathing pool. Flights of the stair on either end of the great bath led down to the bottom of the pool. It used to be filled with water on the special occasion when important people of the city came to take a dip. The structure also had separate galleries and dressing rooms. The Great Bath was probably used for religion rituals and ceremonies. The assembly halls is a pillared half having hall having 20 pillars arranged in 4 rows. It may be used for collective prayers by the people. Drainage system. The Indus Valley people designed an intensive and detail-oriented drainage system. Drainage system was given a priority before the construction of houses. Each house had drains connected to a series of drains running along the main street. The drains were made up of kiln, fired, or baked bricks and were covered. They had a slight slant so that water could easily flow through them. Stone slabs or bricks covered these drains. The drains on the streets had manholes, which was inspected and cleaned at regular intervals. All this evidence states that the people paid great attention to sanitation and cleanliness. Political and social structure. The Indus Valley civilization was said to have had a centralized political system within the cities. It was believed that Harappa and Mohenjo-daro might have been the administrative capitals at the civilization. The terracotta figure of a bearded man discovered at the site is believed to be the priest king. The remarkable town planning in the civilization bear evidence of an efficient administrative system, which exercised good supervision and control. The social structure consisted of various social groups such as ruler, merchant, traders, and artisan, farmers and laborers. Food. The staple food of the Indus people was wheat and barley. Their diet also included mustard, milk, meat, fresh eggs and fish, and various types of fruits and vegetables. Clothing. The people of the Indus Valley wore cotton wool dresses. The men wore a cloth around the lower body like dhotis, and the females wore skirts. Shawls covered their upper body. Ornament such as necklace, amulets, and finger rings was worn by both men and women. Ornaments were made up of gold, silver, and ivory for the rich. The poor wore the ornament of shell, bones, and copper. Entertainment. Various artifacts of chess pieces and other board games suggested the Indus Valley civilization liking for indoor games. Remains of the various statues in the different posture indicate that they spent their free time dancing and singing. Also, various clay toys such as wheeled cart, dolls, animal whistles, and monkeys was discovered. Toy was made of terracotta or baked clay. Occupation. As is evident from their town planning, dressing, and lifestyle, the Indus Valley people were highly industrious in nature. They were skillful in various occupations including hunting, fishing, spinning, weaving, masonry, and carpentry. Agriculture. Agriculture was the primary occupation as lands was made fertile by slates deposited during the flood. They grew variety of crops like wheat, barley, peas, sesame, lentils, and various fruits and vegetables. Some remains found during the excavation indicated that the Indus Valley people were among the first people to cultivate cotton. Domestication of animals. The Indus Valley people domesticated many animals including dogs and cats, hummed and short-horned cattle. Domesticated fowl and possibly camels buffalo, donkeys, and camels transported goods from one place to another. Bones of animals suggested that a wide range of animals were domesticated. There were also terracotta figures of animal-drawn carts, which give us a further indication of the kind of animals domesticated as well as of the means of transport used by the people. Art and craft. The Indus Valley people well known for their pottery. Archaeologists have identified potters' kilns, workshops of metals workers, cell ornament maker, and bead makers. So, trade and commerce. The people of Indus Valley civilization traded extensively within the civilization and with other civilizations. The Indus Valley seals found in Mesopotamian excavation indicate the possibility of long distance trade between both the civilizations. Mesopotamian seals were also discovered in Harappa. मीन्स हड़प्पा सिविलाइजेशन में मेसोपोटामिया का सील्स डिस्कवर्ड हुआ था और मेसोपोटामिया सिविलाइजेशन में हड़प्पाओं का सील्स डिस्कवर्ड हुआ था। इसका मतलब ये है कि इन दोनों में बहुत लंबा ट्रेड चलता था। सील मतलब जैसे आप कोई बिजनेस चालू किए हैं तो उस पर अपना सील लगाएंगे कि नहीं। जैसे कि आप आर्किमिडीज नाम का एक बिजनेस शुरू किए हैं तो उस पर ए का सिंबल लगाएंगे पक्का। अब religion and culture. None of the structure in any sites have been identified as religious building. Even if there did such buildings, it is difficult to identify them due to the absence of icons or ornamented structures. However, female figurines have been discovered from more than one site. These figurines were probably worshipped by Harappans. Apart from the figurines, some seals bearing the image of male deity with three faces seated in yogic position surrounded by various animals have also been seen. Script. Harappan script is pictographic. This means that the script is in the form of picture which each letter is turned from the idea of object. Decline of the civilization. This is the last topic. The Indus Valley civilization, one of the largest and the prosperous civilization of the ancient world, saw a sudden decline. It reached its peak between 2600 BCE and 1900 BCE. However, this great civilization seems to have fallen apart between 1900 BCE and 1700 BCE. Some scholars believe that the river Indus suddenly changed its course, causing flood in some areas and droughts in some places. There were others who feel that deforestation was the main cause of the decline. The Indus Valley civilization laid the foundation of the Indian culture and society. Its phenomenal and glorious past and unresolved mysteries enthrall the modern society. It is one of the most widely researched for all the ancient civilization. Its greatness still instills a feeling of pride in every Indian's heart. So, this was the Indus Valley civilization chapter. So, this chapter has come to its zenith and it is completed. तो इंडस वैली सिविलाइजेशन ज़्यादा कुछ नहीं था, बस एक सिविलाइजेशन था जो पूरी तरीके से अंत हुआ था। अंत का मतलब इसका कोई कारण नहीं था। बहुत सा आर्कियोलॉजिस्ट का अलग अलग वो था, इनका अटेंशन था। जैसे कि कहते हैं कि बाढ़ आ गया था, कुछ कहते हैं कि ड्रॉट आ गया था, कुछ कहते हैं कि इन्वायरमेंटल डिजास्टर हुआ था, लेकिन असली में इसका असली कारण तो कोई नहीं बता पाया है। तो यही था छोटा सा इंडस वैली सिविलाइजेशन। बहुत कब मतलब स्टार्ट हुआ था 3000 में BCE में और 1800 BCE तक इसका अंत हो गया था। तो इतना छोटा चैप्टर था ये। ज़्यादा कुछ नहीं था इसमें। और वेस्टर्न उत्तर प्रदेश में भी इसके बहुत ज़्यादा साइट्स हैं। अपने राज्य में सबसे ज़्यादा अपने राज्य के वेस्टर्न साइड में इसको पाया जाता है। अपने राज्य में सोच लीजिए, उत्तर प्रदेश में भी इसको पाया जाता है। तो ये था कुछ चैप्टर, इसको अच्छे से पढ़ लीजिएगा, इम्पोर्टेंट पॉइंट्स को याद कर लीजिएगा और सील्स पॉइंट को तो ज़रूर याद करिएगा, डिक्लाइन पॉइंट को भी याद कर लीजिएगा, सालों को याद कर लीजिएगा, कितने साल से कितने साल तक शुरू हुआ अंत हुआ, और ये सारा कुछ भी आप लोग पढ़ लीजिएगा। और यहाँ जो आप फ बनाते हैं ना, फ टाइप का ओम स्वास्तिक, तो वो जो स्वास्तिक का जो सिंबल है वो मतलब इंडस वैली लोगों ने ही स्टार्ट किया था। इनका वैसे कोई रिलीजन तो नहीं था, वैसे भी ये अगरबत्ती से पूजा करते थे और अगरबत्ती मजार के सामने खोजते थे। तो पता नहीं इनका कौन सा रिलीजन था। तो यही था चैप्टर। तब तक के लिए गुड बाय एंड स्टे सेफ एट होम।